dressing room. They were very fearful in this part of the world that maybe he had given his last pre-match speech, but Hull breathed a sigh of relief on Monday when Sean McRae said he would see out the remainder of his contract, and rightly so. Bradford Bulls aiming for their 23rd win in 28 weekly rounds and aiming to become the first ever club to top the Super League table in consecutive years. Let's take a check on the way the two sides will line up this evening. Here's Hull. Prescott at full-back. Rayner returns. Mackay, who'll kick the goals. Coe Love and Paul Parker for the injured Matt Crowther. Richard Horne and Tony Smith is the Hull captain. And the forwards, it's Greenhill, Jackson and King. Marr, Logan and Chester. And on the bench, Cook, Fletcher, Carvel and Poucher. Coach, as we say, is Sean McRae. Now the Bradford Bulls with that wobbly fortnight in August firmly behind them. Withers at full-back. Vicona, Naylor, Costin and McAvoy coming into the side late. Leslie Vinacolo is ill. Paul, the captain, and Deacon, the scrum half. Up front, Banganar plays despite stitches in a nasty gash to his ear. Lowes and Fielden. Gartner, Peacock and Radford. He's in for Mike Forshaw, another man who is sick. And it's Anderson, Gilmore, McDermott and Parker on the bench for coach Brian Noble. The Bradford Bulls tonight are the men in black, assured of their top two finish and next weekend off, but they would love to claim pole position for the fourth time in 7 years. They had that wobble in August, firmly put behind them with a 32 points to 14 win over Wigan last Saturday night. And in many ways, these fellows will not be sorry to be paying their last visit to this ground. Like so many others, they have found it tough going here. Just 9 wins from 24 visits over the past 30 years. But the Bradford fans are here, and they are travelling in hope that they will see their team top the Super League after the weekly rounds. Tony Smith leading his men out. They need to win here and then hope that Wigan beat Leeds. Then they will claim 4th spot and that home meeting against the Rhinos here next Friday. Become the Jekyll and Hyde team of Super League, really. They beat Wigan in their last home game here 26-18, but have lost the last 2 in London and of course at St Helens 64-10 last weekend. These supporters not happy with that, and Sean McRae was certainly not happy with that. And as it's such an emotional night, a lot of the families, a lot of the youngsters, a lot of the babies are there with their dads. They leave the field, and it's now Steve Ganson who is centre of attention. He's the match referee here at the Boulevard tonight. Big night, Steve-O.
Certainly is. You've mentioned the fact that emotion will certainly play its part, but also I think Sean McRae, that fella there, has made it quite clear. Look, I have stood my ground. I am going to stay. You play as well, not for yourself, but for me also. And I think they will.
Mackay gets us underway. Great crowd inside the Boulevard tonight. The stand over on the far side just about full. And look at that defence from the early birds early on. Oh, and a mistake. Lowes goes back and is bundled over the try line. No, he's managed to stay within the field of play.
Oh, that was a close call. Steve Ganson satisfied. But that just shows you the amount of pressure that Hull are going to apply to this Bulls outfit tonight.
Here now comes Jamie Peacock.
Well, there's the incident. But Lowes, he claimed he got the ball into... Oh, that's an awful pass.
And Toa Coe Love has swooped on it for Hull. Bradford know they are in a match, well, even in the opening minute.
2 mistakes in 50 seconds. That will not be pleasing Brian Noble. But why on earth, after making that error early, they try to keep the ball alive in their own quarter?
It's with Richard Horne. Ball back on the inside. This is Adam Marr. He is wrestled to the ground by Lee Radford. Hull are just 5 metres away. They're in possession with Tony Smith. He dropped the shoulder, delayed the pass. In the end, he took the tackle. All over the top of Chris Chester as well. Prescott, and he takes the return from Scott Logan. They've just lost a little bit of momentum here momentarily, Hull. They're on the last tackle. Logan is the dummy half. He'll run it, the big fella. And he was probably the wrong man in the wrong place at the wrong time then.
Back here, mate. Back.
Well, give him a little bit more credit from that. Brian Noble must be disappointed with the 2 errors so early, but give the second row a lot of credit in the fact that it's well worth taking the advantage. Play the power play as much as you can. And they're working that blind side.
Steve Ganson has pinged Hull here for offside at the play the ball. They're all moving up far too quickly, as you saw there.
Got forward, Craig Greenhill leading the way.
Nice and up, mate.
Well, he normally gets the message across quite early, does the official Steve Ganson. And it looks like tonight is no exception.
Deacon's penalty gets the balls to halfway where they restart. And here goes Fielden. Scrambling and desperate defence here by Toa Koe-Love. This now is James Lowes. He's found Brandon Costin. First chance that Bradford have to attack the Hull defence.
Pretty solid as well. Ball carrier being turned on his back. Just slows them down sufficient to get the attacking line up in the defence, but that really was poor passing again.
This is Naylor though now. And Hull just relaxed for a moment. That ball bobbled along the ground. Robbie Paul retained possession for his side. That's why Bradford are in this position still. 4 tackles gone, this current set of 6. Lowes is the dummy half. Here's Vangenaar. He will charge in the line, look to offload, but Logan was round his ankles and Marr all over the top.
Well, the tactics are to keep this ball alive. That is for sure. That's going to be a try. Just too late. Withers couldn't get there. Good option, though. Kick on the angle. Beautiful play by the halfback. He knew exactly what was happening there. But I just get the feeling, Eddie, that Brian Noble has said to his players, keep this ball alive. Not so sure it's the right tactics in your own quarter, but it looks like we're going to have an open game.
Defence has been the big difference between these two sides. The Bulls have conceded only 82 touchdowns this year. That's 23 tries fewer than Hull. And this is the way it looks head to head. It's pretty impressive at Hull since 73 for Hull FC, but look at the record in Super League. Just the 1 victory from 12 attempts for the Black and Whites. Horn will dab the ball over the top, and he finds touch. The threatening stand is packed this evening, and they're really getting behind their men.
Good tactic yet again. Get early in the tackle count, making sure that they keep turning Braford around. They are so desperate for a win, not more so than that fella. He was far from impressed by their performance last weekend.
That victory, by the way, for Hull in Super League was here 2 years ago, 25-12, but Bradford sent a near reserve team to the Boulevard on that occasion, but they have drawn 2 at home, 2 of the last 4 at home. It would have been 3 of the last 4 at home had not Michael Withers come up with a 40-metre drop goal in the match we televised in July when Bradford won 25-24. Every one of the top 6, of course, warming up, getting ready for the playoffs. Will it be Castleford, London or Widnes to take the 6th and final spot? That is to be decided on Sunday. This evening is all about top spot and 4th for these 2 great clubs. 5 minutes gone. Good set of 6 here in defence by Hull. And Deacon again will hoist the kick. That's a high hanger. When he didn't look very convincing underneath the bomb, Paul Parker, but it came up for him.
Well, he kept his eyes on the ball. That's all that counted. He's under a lot of pressure.
This is Graham Mackay. He won the grand final with Bradford last year.
Good take under a lot of pressure by Tavita Vaikona.
That's 1-1. Quick tap by Jackson. Withers with the tackle on him. Here now is Gareth Rayner.
Good work from the winger. Looking for work. It's always important for the 3 quarters to be doing that.
Paul King will drive it in.
Good hit from Lowes though. Ball and all tackle.
Jackson off the deck, sweeps the ball to Tony Smith. Looks right and finds the runner, left rather than finds the runner. That was Chester.
Both defences, they're moving in quickly out wide.
Here's Greenhill.
Classified as an umbrella defence. There's only one way you'll beat that. That's that little angle chip through.
Last tackle here, and there is the angle kick. Well, he can't touch it, otherwise he'd have been offside. Jackson stabs the ball forward again, and Withers nearly lost that. They're claiming a knock-on. The referee has a look at the touch judge,
He said
and the
it's
touch judge
okay.
shakes his head. Contentious issue here.
Yeah, did he get it before he hit the ground? Either way, it's certainly bobbled by the fullback Michael Withers. But you've got to admire the way that he's put his body on the line there. That was good work from the hooker.
Van Ganaert dumps the ball over the top, Radford, and then he tips it inside, and this is Peacock, and Peacock was tackled.
Well, it's 50-50 because I thought the tackle was completed. Watch this. Ball carrying arm has finished.
No.
Well, Tony Smith, he gets the ball carrying arm, it's the deck, and he stopped. Watch this. As soon as he put his hand on him, that's it. That should have been allowed.
The ball carrying arm hit the deck and there was no one on him.
Yeah, but he's still moving. Poor penalty as far as I'm concerned.
No, I think that could have been play on. Here now is Greenhill. Oh, good ball! Prescott! Steve Prescott with the first try of the match. And Bradford undone by that penalty that went against them when maybe it shouldn't. It is as important a try for Steve Prescott as it is for Hull, his 100th career try.
Controversial decision by the referee, Steve Ganson. As far as I'm concerned, he was not stopped, he was still moving. That should have been play on. He was given the penalty, and the prop forward did ever so well. Excellent stuff there, good support by Steve Prescott. This is what they pay the money for, the big forwards, and it was Greenhill that offloaded. Great to see the three-quarters, especially the full-backs, just tailing tight behind a forward, making the half break.
2 tries against Bradford Bulls at Wembley in 1996 for St Helens for Steve Prescott. And that one here this evening has taken him past the 100 mark. Now then, Graham Mackay with the conversion. Mackay adds the extras, and Hull are ahead 6 points to 0. Good start for Sean McRae. Not so for Brian Noble.
We'll be somewhat concerned, Noble, mainly due to the fact that obviously they came out with guns blazing. They wanted to keep this ball alive, but look at the effort here. See how he sucks on the inside. Always great to see a forward there. Once you've made the impact, to turn and get the chance to get the arms free and offload, and that is exactly the reason why this guy has scored the first try of the game.
Irish international, also a couple of caps for England in his time for Steve Prescott, the Hull full-back. High hanging kick-off, and underneath it Gareth Rayner, who will run this ball back again. First to reach him, Stuart Fielden. Fielden has had an outstanding year.
Yeah, I think we mentioned last week, Eddie, the fact that everyone thinks it's a 2-horse race between Lamb and Sculthorpe for the Man of Steel, player of the season. But this guy, as you mentioned, has got to be in with a shake. Stuart Fielden is been consistent, and that's what you expect from a Man of Steel.
He went for the 40-20 then, did Tony Smith, but the kick bounced tamely into the arms of Nathan McAvoy. Brandon Costin at dummy half.
And you can see how Hull are getting out of the blocks very, very early.
Wigan are ahead 6-0 against Leeds at this point. Hull are 4th in the Super League table. They'll be at home next Friday against the Leeds Rhinos. What a boost that will be for Sean McRae. A long way to go yet, though. But early points for the 2 home sides.
I'm sure that Sean McRae is fully aware that Wigan have taken that lead. So important, of course. If Leeds win, they've got no chance of playing at home, Hull, irrespective of what they do here tonight.
Last tackle here for the Bradford Bulls. Lowe's will come down the short side, and Gartner stabs the kick behind the line. Prescott, the try scorer, picks it up.
Great work by Prescott there. Perhaps I thought he took the wrong option. It would have been safe to dive on the ball. It is a bit slippery. He took it on the half volley. Always awkward.
Good defence from Costin and McAvoy. Bradford swarming round and looking for the ball carrier. And here come Hull trying to work it wide to get themselves out of trouble. Chester takes the tackle from Naylor. That's 4 tackles gone. They're only 12 metres away from their own line. Mackay to Parker. More good harrying by Robbie Paul. 5 tackles, 8 metres gained. The kick is poor. And Bradford have it back, and this is danger. Deacon gets it away to Radford. He's on his own though, Radford. Steps inside Paul King. Can't get away from Adam Marr.
You'd be disappointed, no second phase there. They really should have gone to it.
Here's Costin again.
Well, Deacon screaming for the football. Maybe it's a kick into the corner. Remember, these lights are very low. They're on the top of the stand, not on stanchions.
Vanganar, 3 big hits, but he's managing still, well, until the last man came in to stay on his feet. Had to take the tackle in the end from Greenhill. This is Lowe's now. Well, plenty at stake tonight. That's why these two sides are at it, hammer and tong. Robbie Paul stabs the ball through. It's scooped up in the back by Tony Smith.
Picked up a knock as well as the skipper, Robbie Paul. He's down in the back play.
You don't want injuries ahead of the playoffs.
But that's been applied there. Big pressure. They pulled away, but I think they just caught him. Oh, big mistake again.
Adam Marr losing it in the tackle. And Bradford have it back.
Only rained for about 30 minutes before the kick-off, but it would have made this ground very slippy.
Lowe's to Deacon. Here now is Gartner.
Second. Come on, off with that penalty. It's back.
Deacon waits. They're 20 metres away, the Bulls. And this now is Jamie Peacock hitting form at just the right time from a Bradford Bulls and Great Britain point of view with that test series against the Kiwis to come. Bullock pass out wide though isn't good. It was Nathan McAvoy who couldn't get to it.
Not good at all. And Robbie Paul's not looking all that good either. In back play, it looked to me as though he was actually throwing up onto the field of play. That was brought about by that hard knock that he took. Looks concerned Brian Noble, and every right to feel that way.
Well, Robbie Paul wasn't very well this week. He has also been suffering this virus that has claimed Vinacolo and Mike Forshaw.
Well, the way that he was heaving up on the grass there, Eddie, I think it's not only claimed him, it's knocked him out.
Well, he's still there, as you see, standing second marker in that defensive line to play the ball. Greenhill is wrestled to the ground by a strong defence from Fielden again, and Richard Horne now scampers away. Fielden to him with Lowe's.
Pretty good the way that Hull are just interchanging with Richard Horne and Lee Jackson in the dummy half area, creating a few problems for the Braford first and second defenders.
Logan plays the ball to Jackson. The kick is charged down by Lowe's, and Bradford have it back on halfway. Radford to his feet. Lowe's takes the ball at the play the ball, finds Costin.
Well, Adam Marr didn't know whether he was in an offside position. That's the reason why he didn't drop onto the football.
This is Vanganar, the only ever present now in this Bradford Bulls side, the big New Zealander. His 33rd consecutive match. He has not missed a game for over 12 months, a remarkable record. This is Robbie Paul, bringing Naylor back on the inside.
Good tackle there by Tony Smith. Utilise him right outside. Knows that Bradford, they've got the big centres. Naylor and Brandon Costin, hard to put down, but that's solid defence.
Last tackle. This is Robbie Paul. Gives it a bit of air and finds Deacon. And Deacon stabs the kick in. And that's a great kick, but it just runs dead.
Well, the idea was all right, but there was only Lee Radford, the Bradford loose forward, that applied any pressure on that and more or less gave up hope. Whole crowd don't like the idea that Ganson is allowing them to get to them very quickly. He's having trouble on both sides getting them back to full 10.
Well, it's been a ripping opening quarter of an hour, Phil.
It has. I thought I was watching the game in fast forward, so was the fury really at the beginning of the match. I suppose when you fall off the horse like Hull did last week, got to get back onto it as quickly as they could, and I'm sure that early tries helped them. They're looking on the strong here, but the last 5 minutes has all been played in the whole half. That does tend to take a lot of energy out of the side. They'll be relieved now to get up to the other end of the field.
They're up there with Paul King, Fielden no, and Lowe's again.
Another injury problem for Bradford. Second row, Jamie Peacock. He got a nasty knock on the head. That's a great kick.
It is a great kick, and Vicona manages to sweep it up. Under pressure over there from Parker. Bradford have to work this ball away now from their own try line. Hull are hunting the mistake.
They really are giving it to them. They're quick and they're eager. Ooh, swinging arm there. Looked like Chester got one in on the winger.
Tavita Vicona, there's another candidate for a man of steel. He's had a wonderful season for the Bulls. And they're coming forward here with Costin. Isn't it marvellous that we arrive at the last weekend of the season? There are still issues to be debated, and we are talking about 5, 6, 7 possible men of steel.
Superb. Not only that, a wonderful finish with the relegation situation, making the 6th spot in the playoffs. It's all there over this weekend, and Sunday will all unfold. And I mean, no side, no coach really can feel confident that they're going to be red-hot favourites.
Definitely not. Not this year of all years. Gareth Rayner here. As I say, if Hull do manage to secure a 4th spot and a home playoff tie here next Friday night with Leeds, ooh, that will be a humdinger as well.
Will it ever? The Rhinos, as I think you've mentioned before, that's a silly pass. Just making that point, and there was a little arm swung into Gartner as well. It's good hit.
And Richard Horne has got the ball back. He felt that, did Lee Radford.
Some big hits going on out there. The point that I'm trying to make it, as you said earlier before the kick-off, is there's a mistake now it came about. All force, good impact. Is that Leeds hate to come to the Boulevard?
Yes, it's not one of the happier hunting grounds. Mind you, who does enjoy coming to this place? It is a very, very formidable ground on which to play rugby league, and Hull will miss this atmosphere, you know. Even though they're going to the brand new stadium, they will miss it.
And so will Mackay. Came up with a knock on there. Yeah, there's many a team coach as they've gone across the M62 and said it looks like a very nice country lane on its way back. But they will ensure, I'm sure, that the fans here, they really love their rugby league. Although they'll be happy with the fact that this fellow has come up with a mistake. Fast and furious. They really have supported well over the years.
Some of the most vociferous supporters in the business stand on the Threepenny Stand terrace here. They make their feelings known. Robbie Paul. Great ball to Brandon Costin. And Costin, just an ankle tap on him by Richard Horne. Crucial. McDermott is on, as you see. Vanganar, the man, is replaced. Great tackle on him by Craig Greenhill. And Costin is down. Is he just putting a boot on? I think he is.
Yeah.
Oh, it was a bit over elaborate there by Radford and Robbie Paul.
Well, both sides coming up with the errors now. Mainly it's brought about, as we keep mentioning, by this solid defence. Getting right into the face. You're forcing the issue. And you're forcing the mistake there. Yeah. Not really the best pass from the skipper, Robbie Paul. And it really comes down to the fact that you've got to dink that little ball just past this one line of defence.
Strong run here from Logan. Stolen there.
Was it one-on-one? Yes, according to the official.
Well, he reefed it out and it went forward. Peacock reefed that out and it went forward, surely.
Don't tell me, tell him.
Well, that should be a scrum down, head and feed the Hull side, but it's Bradford who are in possession.
Ooh, that could have been a flop as well.
Good.
Reefed away, one-on-one. It's got to be a knock-on, you're right.
This is Gartner. Well, there was a dodgy penalty decision went against Bradford earlier, and if Bradford score here, that was a dodgy decision that's gone against Hull. But they've weathered the first 4. Can they hold on? Big hit by King.
Is it ever?
He waited for Deacon.
They are really giving it to Bradford.
Lowe's dabs the ball in, but here they come now, and this is Richard Horne, and Richard Horne has got the legs. He's got the legs of Radford. He can take this back underneath the sticks.
Oh, what on earth is he doing? And Sean McRae has gone absolutely berserk. He didn't look inside. This could be such a crucial mistake. I know he's got the 4 points. Full credit to the youngster. But dearie me today, and he knows it too. He knows how vital, if they miss this conversion, this could have a big bearing on the result of this game. Full credit to the youngster. Not the best kick, as you can see, by Lowe's, I think it was.
Yes.
But there was no one there on the inside. You've got to use your experience, and he has played international. He doesn't even look. He should have been looking to see who was on the inside. This is the penalty. Well, it should have been a knock-on, as you can see quite clearly. And then the kick from Lowe's. But look at his face. He doesn't even look. Oh, that could be a bad blunder. There was just no one at home on the inside. He could have gone right under the sticks. This is a pressure kick. They'll forgive him. if he adds the extra 2, but they will be wailing in the Threepenny stand if he misses it. Good effort, good intercept. Now the pressure is on this guy.
Graham Mackay, not the regular kicker, but he's pretty good with the boot for all of that. Well, he's got Richard Horne out of jail. He's added the extras, and Hull lead by 12 points to 0.
Well, they'll be very relieved, not that fella, but as Eddie mentioned, stand off Richard Horne. And I think Sean McRae, who would have probably written that down in the book, would now be just putting a line between it. They've got away with it.
Well, here comes the latest score for you from Wigan, and they lead Leeds by 16 points to 0. And look at the reaction on the Threepenny stand here. 16-0 Wigan over Leeds. We're going to flash those scores up in the big screen throughout this weekend. And just now, Hull are on their way to finishing 4th, and they will entertain Leeds here at the Boulevard next Friday.
Well, you could see there quite clearly Sean McRae was on the walkie-talkie. Get the message out, water carrier run out. Listen, it's all going our way at Wigan. We've got to make sure that it all goes well here tonight. And with a 12-point lead, it's going to be difficult for the Bulls to get back in this match. It really is becoming powerful out there. Wouldn't surprise me if there's a few punches thrown very soon.
This, of course, is music to the ears of our special guest tonight as well, Ian Millwood, because St Helens will travel to London, and providing they're not hammered, Saints will finish top of the table. That's if it stays like this. But Ian Millwood, Brian Noble, Sean McRae, Darryl Powell and Stuart Raper are experienced enough to know that there is a long, long way to go yet on this night. Withers is hurt.
Another injury. We really are going through the wars, and it's been brought about by some of this strongly slipped there, but it's solid defence.
And Greenhill dropping on the back of his neck with the forearm.
I think there was a strainee in there as well. Mr. Johns in Australia is fully aware of that as well. It looked accidental then, and I think that might be so here at the Boulevard tonight. But look at that defence. Braford have got to roll up the sleeves. We often talk about how big, rough and tough the Bulls pack is. Well, they're going to have to produce it now.
Just harking back to that Andrew Johns injury in Australia, Steve-O, it is the sort of incident that really can, as Deacon goes for a 40-20, but the ball stays in the field of play. An injury to a key man really can disrupt you in playoff football, and all the coaches aiming up in the top 6 next week will be hoping against hope there are no serious injuries coming this weekend.
Well, without a doubt, and that's the good reason why these top clubs, they go for plenty of depth. They know that they will go through, they can't go throughout this season without a major injury to one of their players. I just hope that it's not the pivotal players like the two halfbacks, the hooker and of course the loose forward. Most of the play runs around those four.
Tony Smith with a scampering run from dummy half. And there is Horne again, who just drops the kick over the top. McAvoy will have to pick this up in his own in-goal area. He's got work to do, but he does it.
Good kick, good chase.
Not tackled, not held.
And full credit there to Richard Horne. You could see as soon as it came off his boot, he'd had a backward spin on it. That was the reason why it bobbled in the in-goal area.
Come on, mate, come on.
They spent hours out on the training paddock just perfecting that. Oh, but look at those hips there.
Paul King on Brian McDermott.
Well, they are laying the gauntlet down.
King again.
Boom, get in some of that. You want to talk big, you want to talk tough. Well,
great ball from Robbie Paul to Withers. Oh, what a great tackle there by Lee Jackson. Last one here for Bradford. Deacon on the bounce to Radford. Radford stabs the ball down the line. Oh, and that just came back on the inside of the whitewash, and Gareth Rayner had to put his body on the line.
Pretty casual about it as well, Rayner, but got away with it.
Second, square markers.
Now then, good work by the winger. Well, that would have lifted this Braford outfit, lifted their spirits. It was going through the walls. They are being battered out of this.
Yes, Hull are ahead 12-0, as you can see, 26.5 minutes gone at the JJB Stadium. Wigan are leading Leeds by 16 points to 0 as Mackay goes for a booming 40-20.
He's going to get it.
Oh, what about this? Now then, it's a decision for the touch judge. He was way behind the play.
Surely they'll give this.
He has. Steve Ganson gives it right on the 20-metre mark. What a kick from Mackay.
Well, that has stunned me.
13 to go.
He's not normally an open play kicker like that, and it came out of just nothing. But boy, oh boy, that's going to be another tactic from this fella. He's had his ups and downs here. Hasn't done a wonderful season. He's normally noted for using the power out wide, but that kick, well, it's added a new dimension to this whole side.
Not a bad season, Steve-o. 18 tries and kicking like that. Fantastic. Coyle to his feet. Richard Horne. Here is Tony Smith running the angle, finding Chester.
Ooh, nice
Great tackle, Deacon.
They thought perhaps he was going to be the dummy runner.
There's Prescott again. Rayner at dummy half. Adam Marr. They are certainly responding to Sean McRae's decision to stay. Smith stabs the ball to the in goal, and Withers cannot get out of trouble.
Touch judge said that his boot had hit the whitewash. Not so sure about that. Oh, that was all right. Well, the touch judge has got him for hitting the whitewash, and it
doesn't matter as it turns out.
They got him in there, but the whistle had already gone. He's trying to get away, and he could hear the whistle. That it's well, the touch judge very quick, as Eddie's just mentioned, didn't really make any difference.
Well, as you say, they know they are in a match tonight.
Well, Brian Noble, he knows, he's been around long enough, he's played long enough at this ground to understand the, well, shall we say, the attitude that this whole side, when they're playing at home, they give to the opposition. And Brian Noble certainly knows that it's going to be a tough night, because they are really battering the Braford Bulls out of submit. They're just submitting to him, aren't they? Bang! Hit him.
Down the short side they come with Toa Koilov. This is Jackson, and now it's Horne. And Tony Smith went without it.
Went backwards.
I think they've retained possession with Gareth Carvell.
Looked to knock on there. Carvell, he lost it. They've got away with it.
Greenhill.
Oh, and another injury. It looks like Fielding has crashed with McDermott.
Tony Smith. Withers is there. Prescott and Marr combining to bring the Bradford fullback down.
Been a busy night for Withers. They are testing him, and whole side they're just teasing this Bradford outfit. Little runs, dummy runners running on the angle, little chips over the top, the grubber kick. That attack is superb. They're mixing and matching.
Lows to Peacock. 16-6 Leeds fighting back at the JJB Stadium after just over half an hour. 12-0 here. Lows to Robbie Paul. He goes for the 40-20 now. And Paul Parker picks it up. He's making his 40th appearance here. Is Paul Parker for the ill Matt Crowther. Well, fourth place is beckoning for Hull, Phil Clark.
Well, the first thing that strikes me is, I'll tell you what, either Hull have improved dramatically from last week, or Saints must have been awesome, because I'll tell you what, they're looking like a very, very strong side, aren't they? They're moving the ball around. The one area in which they are struggling is when Bradford kick deep to them, and certainly the kick return, and getting out of their own danger zone. At times they are struggling. They're reliant on a fantastic kick from Mackay and other players to get them up there. But once they get up to the other end of the field, they're looking a confident side. Good support play as well.
Great offload there by Carvell. That's the last tackle, though, on Steve Prescott. Well, to use Ian Millwood's phrase, last week St Helens were white hot. as you say, Phil Clark, they must have been an awesome side 7 days ago to have beaten Hull as easy as they did.
Well, the way they're defending, that's the second time they've gone for the power play of the Hull side. And that's the reason why they don't mind too much. Good work again by the loose forward, Chris Chester, 2 tackles on the trot. Look at that. You cannot play against a side that just smothers you, and that's what's doing. They're forcing Braford into one-out football.
Richard Hall, magnificent round the play of the ball. This is Peacock spinning away from Richard Fletcher. But only temporarily, because Greenhill was there to clobber him to the deck. Now then, Deacon.
Good defence there from Marr. Had to be as well. There was a huge gap there.
Stab down the wing. McAvoy's after this. McAvoy's after it, but Prescott comes across and just hacks the ball out. It was a very good kick.
Certainly was.
And McAvoy's no slouch. He took some yards off Rayner there.
Certainly did. And they are saying that Rayner is one of the fastest in Super League, but Prescott, been around long enough, said, let's not mess around. Kick it way, way out of the ground.
Steve Prescott opened the try scoring, winning that race against Nathan McAvoy, an England international, 3 England caps, and he actually gained 1 of them on this ground against France in 1999. But it's Bradford who have the head and feed from the scrum, and this is Robbie Paul jinking away from Mackay. Oh, that was high on Naylor.
He's allowed the advantage. Naylor didn't like it, had a little bit of a look, and that's the reason. Well, I think that's a little bit of payback time. And Scott Naylor just had a few little words to Graham Mackay for that would-be attempted tackle. Here it comes.
Bradford are running the penalty. This is Withers. Now this is a test of the Hull defence.
We need more from James Lowes. That's the question that Brian Noel will be posing to him.
Here's Deacon. Oh, he's gone inside Marr and he's over. Here's Deacon. He got away from Carvel as well. And Paul Deacon, the leading goal kicker in the Super League, has just scored only his 5th try of the season. But Hull are made to pay for the indiscretion over on that far side. The high shot from Mackay.
Mackay went high, and then it was the flop on the 2-ear blind. The advantage at Steve Ganson. Good play though, good skills. You could see there he just stepped back on the left foot, back on the inside. Good balance. No way in the world that Adam Marr could have stopped that. He's got all the goodies, hasn't he, Paul Deacon? And that will be some relief to his teammates and their coach, Brian Noble.
Deacon to improve his own 4-pointer. He got 8 goals from 10 attempts against Wigan. 6 goals on this ground in July. And Deacon, 23 years old, Coach Brian Noble knows that he is one of 7 Bradford Bulls in the Great Britain squad to face the Kiwis in the Test Series this autumn. And he's making a big bid for the scrum half role. And Deacon adds the extras. So it's Hull 12, Paul Deacon 6.
Well, it just shows you how defensive sides are very, very strong this season. Tries coming from mistakes. The first one was when Peacock was penalised. Then we had the Lowes kick, which was intercepted. And now from this, when Mackay went high, Deacon gleefully accepted the 4 points. It's going to be tough out there. Not many opportunities. You've got to take them.
And Deacon has just taken one for Bradford. Mackay with the kick-off. Oh, that's out on the full. Really give that a leather.
Well, they took the
too much.
They took the gamble there that no one was going to be in position. And to be fair, McDermott wouldn't have got there. The idea was okay. Just didn't get it right.
So penalty to Bradford on halfway, and Deacon will deposit that into touch. Now 4 minutes to half-time. Great sides have a habit of bouncing back just before the half-time siren. Anderson is on for the Bulls, gets to his feet and plays the ball to Lowe's. Here's Deacon, now it's with McDermott. McDermott stopped dead in his tracks, good tackling. Lowe's waits at dummy half. Movement behind Lowe's. Good run from Radford, halted by 3.
Much better from Lowe's there. Mixing and matching now, he's doing different things. Where's the support?
Doesn't need it. Yes, he does.
That'll be play on.
He lost it.
He went backwards, he tried to offload. Looks like Chester's come up with a good as he has.
Well, the line was beckoning then for James Lowe's for a moment.
Well, the opportunity was there. You can see someone should have been there a lot quicker than Withers. Maybe the fact that Jamie Lowe's has been very shy at running from dummy half in the opening half an hour.
Well, Hull will want to hang on to this 6-point lead to half-time. But Lowe's was so close then. This is Tony Smith, short pass to Carvel. Carvel, he is tackled on his feet. Last tackle this. Tony Smith just drifts the kick over the top.
Well, that's a great kick as well. Just the right balance.
Well, Withers had to come back to pick this up. And
look at the chase there. Oh, you couldn't get much better than that, Eddie. 10 players surrounded the fullback then.
This is McAvoy. Here's Anderson again. Good to see him back.
Sean McRae, will be disappointed that they conceded that try to Deacon, because they really have bossed this first half. They've been in total control apart from that silly penalty that Mackay gave away on the high shot on Naylor.
Lovely dink over the top is by Deacon again. It just didn't quite bounce kindly enough for Peacock. But Brian Noble will be pleased, Steve, that his team are only 6 points adrift.
Without a doubt. It's Sean McRae will have thought, well, we should have had even more. They've had most of the possession, and they've worked very, very hard to get that way. But they're just getting into the swing of things. You know, the little chip over now from Deacon. They're getting the message. Obviously, Noble sent out, said, listen, don't just wear yourself down with Bash Barge. Chip over the top. A little bit more skill factor, please.
Carvel with a strong run. It's the last, this set of 6. Bradford will probably end the first half with ball in hand unless something comes as a result of this. Vicona's underneath it. And the former Hull winger escapes the clutches of 2 and keeps going. That's a good run to the 20-metre line.
Well, a claim there by the Hull fullback Steve Prescott said that after the kick had been launched, he was taken out of the game. Looked at the touch judge, shook his head, get on with it.
Radford is clawed to the ground. Good take by Vicona.
Certainly was under a lot of pressure, but further back in the play. Oh, they've got away with it. Naylor didn't intend that.
Vicona stays in the field of play. Naylor is the dummy half. And here now is Peacock. Good charge by Fletcher. Last tackle.
There's been so many tackles from this whole side where they've actually lifted the ball carrier from the ground.
The kick has dropped into the arms of McAvoy. Oh, it was just behind Costin. Rayner has it. Now it's with Jackson. They're keeping the ball alive here, Hull. Looking for something on the bell. Rayner hits the deck. One more play of the ball. That's all they've got. Here is Tony Smith. A dab over the top from Tony Smith.
Nobody there, though. Easy for the fullback.
And Withers will take the tackle, the last tackle of this first half, surely. There it is. And there's the half-time siren. 12-6, Sean McRae's men lead at the break. Brian Noble on his way, but everyone in black and white for Hull applauding the team as they leave the field at the end of 40 minutes. Terrific stuff from Hull. Now elsewhere, of course, it's Wigan and Leeds, and it's 16-10 at half-time at the JJB Stadium. These Hull fans who were celebrating not long ago with Wigan leading 16-0 know that the Leeds Rhinos are clawing their way back into that match, and Bradford indeed are clawing their way back into this. Prescott and Horn with the 2 tries for Hull. It was 12-0 after just over 20 minutes, but Bradford, they are the Super League champions. They're digging deep, and it's only 12-6 to Hull at the break.
Tomorrow on Sky Sports 1. Newcastle Sunderland. Defeat is unthinkable. A 4 football special tomorrow at 12 on Sky Sports 1. Then Sunday on Premiership Plus. Aston Villa Everton. For both sides, it's not about performance, it's about points. Danger. You can order this game now for just £5. Call 08705 160 160 or see Channel 433. Premiership Plus in association with Scottish Life.
Get used to a better view. The tall car for the tough streets. The extraordinary new Ford Fusion. It's out there.
This job has good sides and bad sides.
Up to here, my hair belongs to the army.
I'm an engineer. I'm a minefield clearer. I'm a bridge layer.
The rest of the hair.
That's mine.
When specialist skills are needed, I'm first in. I've also learned to be a plumber.
That is just absolute rubbish.
Booby traps, bridge demolitions, water supply. If you want to find out more, call 08457 300 111. I wouldn't want to do anything else.
Get ready to be blown away. 2 Tarantino classics on DVD. Pulp Fiction and
Jackie Brown.
Both in new 2-disc collector's editions.
Oh, yeah.
Loaded with never-seen-before special features. Pulp Fiction and Jackie Brown collector's editions. Own them now on DVD.
Even in the most turbulent times, Scottish Widows has stood firm. Using its strength, experience, and investment expertise to guide its customers year after year after year. Scottish Widows, looking good for your money.
Don't just talk. See. Photo messaging from Orange. The future's bright. The future's orange.
I'll take those.
Oi!
Here you go. Clear off.
Walker's money bags are back.
74 packets of Walker's Crisps, please.
Only this time there's twice as much cash to be won. See if you can get your hands on a £20 note.
Every weekend on Sky Sports is special for rugby league fans, but this weekend just a little bit more so. Saturday at 10:30, the Aussies are into playoff mode, and it's St George Illawarra against Cronulla, live on Sky Sports 2, Saturday 10:30, and set the alarm clock early on Sunday morning, 6 a.m, for Sydney City Roosters and the Newcastle Knights. That's also live on Sky Sports 2. And just thrown in for good measure, Sunday afternoon we have the last weekend of the Super League, the shakedown. Will it be the Salford City Reds or the Wakefield Wildcats for relegation? Will the Tigers hang on to 6th spot for the playoffs? It's all happening, Sky Sports 2 from 3 o'clock. 12-6 at half-time here to Hull. Great first half. And the Bradford Bulls, you know, have turned a half-time deficit into victory only 3 times this year. The last occasion 2 weeks ago when we were with them at Headingley against the Leeds Rhinos. Can they do it again? Sean McRae's men have dug deep for him, as we thought they might. They are playing much better this week, surely, than they did last week at Knowsley Road. But Brian Noble will be, well, I think, relieved that his team are only 6 points behind, because for long periods of that first half, the Super League champions had to play second fiddle to Hull FC. Well, Sean McRae, I don't know whether he's waved a magic wand, but something that has been said this week has certainly turned the team round. I know the Saints were white hot 7 days ago, Ian Millwood, but I tell you what, if you were playing Hull tonight, would you win 64-10?
Oh, definitely not. They're not a 64-point drubbing team week in, week out. That was a one-off for them. But, That's a very entertaining game, especially with the hits in the forwards there. There are some really good hits and really good shoulder contact there. But the interesting thing I found about the first half was the amount of probably field position Bradford had and the poor kicking game of Hull to get out of that area. And they've done very, very well, I think, to lead 12-6. And I thought it's been probably a good comparison in the two teams at the moment. They had to start with intensity, didn't they, Hull, after last week? They've started with intensity, and it's been shown in their defence, especially in little things like their kick chase. So Sean will be very, very happy with that. I see he's got the blackboard out. He's a former ex-school teacher, so he might have been sharpening up in case things went wrong this week. But no, I think he's got a lot of positives to talk about, and I think some areas that he knows he can improve, especially their kicking game coming out of their half. And I think Mackay reflected it with his huge boot. It was more, I thought, a little bit of hope than executed. And if they can improve that, I think they can put some real big pressure on Bradford. But they've got some skilled players, Bradford, when they get in your half, haven't they?
They have indeed. But if you were Brian Noble, you'd be happy, I think, to be only 6 points adrift at this stage.
Yeah, I'm sure he would be, you know what I mean? Because this game is still a long way to go in it. The question is, can Hull maintain that 40 minutes of intensity in defence? And can they rebel the big forwards as they come up the park? It's very interesting to see Paul Deacon. He's playing very well tonight. And I think if they get some go forward, him, Lowe's, Deacon and Pauls are the ones going to put Sean's men under pressure. But it's a very interesting 40 minutes still to come. There's a lot of work to be done by both teams if they're going to achieve the success tonight.
Indeed, a lot of work to be done by both teams here. Remember, at Wigan, it's 16-10 to Wigan over Leeds. 12-6 here. So at this moment in time, Hull will finish 4th, Leeds will finish 5th. But Steve-O, as Ian has rightly said, there's a little bit of water to trickle under the bridge yet.
Oh, my word, and I'm sure that both coaches realise here at Wigan, Darryl Powell will want to make sure that they come back in that second half, as will Braford. There's all ifs and buts in every time on this game, but I know one thing, it's a very, very old style, isn't it, as far as I'm concerned. It was go out there and belt them, and that's what Hull certainly did to this Bradford side. A lot of been said about the fact that this Bradford pack are so strong, they're so tough. I don't think this was a penalty. I did not think that the tackle was completed there, and it was a shame really, because from that position it was Prescott that scored the try. But full credit to it. Look at Greenhill here. That is great play from a prop forward. Go through two would-be tacklers, then offload, and then it was Lowe's turn. Tried a little kick from dummy half. A little bit more of that, I'm sure, will be asked by his coach Brian Noble. Full credit to Horn, but what on earth was he thinking? There was no one within Cooey. He never looked on the inside. Thankfully, Mackay did get the conversion, and I think if you remember, we went back to the fact Sean McRae rather unhappy about it, and so was Naylor when Mackay went high, and from that position. I made the point that all three tries have come about with lack of discipline and mistakes. That's how strong it is, and Deacon, and rightly so, gave them an opportunity to get back into this game. They've already said it here, these two fellas, that Brian Noble would be quite happy, only be 6 points adrift. It's a matter now of whether Hull can just continue to batter them and batter them again into submission in the second half.
Yes, there's still a lot of rugby league to be played. Let's go down to the sideline, join Phil Clark. Smashing atmosphere here tonight, Phil. And the Hull supporters around you there, I'm sure they're desperate for their men to be back here next Friday night.
They've gone a little bit quiet in the last few minutes, but they were very excited midway through that first half. You know, there are times in a rugby league game when you dominate your opponents and times when they do it to you, and the best sides are able to cope with both. Hull were able to manage to play so much of that first half in their own half of the field, and if they have to do that in the second half, I'd be very surprised if they can restrict this Bradford side to just scoring one try. But there were very, very strong and positive elements for them in defence. When Withers made a break late in the first half, Lee Jackson desperately got back and just pulled him down immediately as he got through the line. And I think with elements of that air of desperation and enthusiasm in defence, there's a lot of really hope for Hull. But I'm sure that first half's taken a lot of energy out of the side, and Sean McRae must really look to conserve the energy in his forwards and rotate. It's going to be a full 17-man effort if they're to win here tonight.
Yes, full 17-man effort. I'm sure that both coaches happy that the half-time is around about 12-15 minutes whenever Sky Sports are here. Some of you coaches say you can sometimes read a version of War and Peace to the players, but, you know, on a night like this with so much effort from both sides, you'll be happy to have a little extra just to get a bit of oxygen in, settle down and prepare for the battle ahead, and battle it's going to be.
Yeah, I think Phil made a very good point there. The amount of work Hull have had to do off their line and done very, very well at doing that. But can they repeat it for the second half? The other thing too is, you know, it just when Robbie Paul went down injured there for a time there, and he was down a little while, I thought that was a little bit of concern for Bradford, because he'll be the person that finishes off their good go forward. But, you know, I keep reiterating, Hull defending very much a big improvement on last week, and they had to. They put their bodies on the line. The question is, Sean will be going over things they spoke about during the week where they think they could dominate, and he's now challenging them, saying, boys, I want 40 more minutes. The fans want it, and there's no better place to do it at home, because it is the last league game here, and they need to finish on a special note and gain momentum going into the playoffs.
Indeed, and the momentum will be even greater if Hull win here, if Leeds lose across at Wigan, and they will have the 4th place, and they will be back here next Friday for the playoff match against the Leeds Rhinos. The prize is a massive one, and Hull know what they've got to do to claim it. They've simply got to restrict Bradford, and they've got to score a couple more points themselves, and you never know. We'll keep you right informed throughout the course of this next 40 minutes.
He's just not been himself, Doctor. Has he been getting enough fluids? Doesn't seem to be any sign of fever. Something's left its mark on him here. Oh, do you think it was a fox?
Bacardi Breezer. There's Latin spirit in everyone.
I'd like you to turn a blind eye to what I have to do.
From the director of American Beauty, Road to Perdition is magnificent. 5 stars.
I have to protect you now.
The most enthralling film you'll ever see. Tom Hanks, Paul Newman, Jude Law. Road to Perdition.
Like most victims, Julie knew her killer. It was her son. He wasn't wearing his seatbelt. After crushing her to death, he sat back down. Think, always wear a seatbelt.
The new Daily Star Sunday. Have you read it? For just 35p you get all the news, views, showbiz and sport. Plus, it's got a great magazine with hot celeb photos and complete TV listings. And every reader gets this new dance CD free inside. The 35p Daily Star Sunday. Britain's great value Sunday package.
3 divers to go then, and this is Darren Kroll of Australia. Oh, that's a good dive.
7.5, 8, 8.5.
642.2, and now Petit of Canada.
Forward, 3.5 somersaults and pipe.
Oh, even better. This final really hotting up. Now the favourite, John Smith of Great Britain. What can he do?
A running bomb.
Oh, terrific. The crowd love it.
10.
And so do the judges. Top bombing.
Good for gums.
Movie Max Monday Night Action. When the Vietnam War came to an end, no one told Chuck. He keeps going back. Time. And time. And time again. Missing in Action season concludes Monday at 10 on Sky Movies Max.
More football this weekend. Tomorrow at midday we're live in the northeast for the derby between Newcastle and Sunderland on Sky Sports 1. And then at 5:30 we've more action from the First Division, derby against Preston live on Sky Sports Extra. And on Sunday the live pay-per-view match at 1:30 is Aston Villa against Everton. The number to call for more information is as always 08705 160 160. That's the half-time situation in the Super League match between Hull and Bradford. 12-6. Across the Pennines at this moment in time, Wigan are beating Leeds. So Sean McRae knows that his men are at the moment in 4th spot going into the playoffs and a home meeting with the Rhinos here at the Boulevard next week. But you never know, there are 40 minutes left to play. And we're underway, slightly less than 40 minutes now, and you get the feeling, Steve-O, a very important opening 10-15 minutes here for Hull. They've got to lay the platform now.
Yeah, they've just got to do what they did in that first 35 minutes anyway, when they really did control that first half. Their defence was solid. You know, it's taken a lot of gas out of the tank, but they've got to make sure that they just don't do anything silly. Got to keep it pretty tight. Braford, of course, I think Brian Noble probably would have told the Bulls, look, let's play a waiting game. Let's not force the pass. Let's just try to run this whole side off their feet. Interesting in that first half, Eddie, neither of the wingers got a decent pass to even have any movement out wide.
Kick downfield was from Tony Smith, bouncing twice into the arms of Michael Withers. Back come Bradford then for their first attack of this second half. They've won their last 3, and they've lost only 4 times on their travels this year at Castleford, Leeds, St Helens and London. Aiming to win, to put the pressure on the Saints, who travel to the capital to face London on Sunday afternoon. Loads from dummy half. Robbie Paul smothered there though by Richard Fletcher, and he stuck to the task well. Chris Chester helped him out also. Here's Lee Gilmore away from Greenhill. Marr got to him, but he got the pass away to Anderson. Last tackle 10 metres inside the Hull half of the field. Lowe's dabs the ball over the top, and it goes beyond the winger Parker and finds touch.
And they'll be happy with that. The experience from the hooker, just a little dink over there onto the right-hand side. Just trying to force Hull, make them make the error. As I said, it's very slippy in that first half. The wind will be drying out this ground. It's, as I mentioned, it only rained for about half an hour, but it caused a few problems in that first half.
Tony Smith feeds the scrum then at the second attempt, while holding the ball in amongst the forwards, then giving it to Mackay, and Withers got to him, and Naylor.
Well, that's a dangerous ploy, trying to just milk the penalty. Trying to convince Steve Ganson, the official, that the Bradford side had got offside at the scrum. Got to stay back until the ball clears the ruck, the back of the pack.
Greenhill dropped on the third tackle. Jackson, and here is Paul King, who's a very impressive performer in the opening 20 minutes of that first half. And Anderson could have been penalised there. Referee, though, Steve Ganson says to Paul King, get on with it and stop making an issue out of the fact that Anderson was all over the top of him. Jackson with the kick downfield.
The bad one either. Yeah, if you can split the full-back and the wingman, that's good, and ensure that the chase is solid. It was good in that first half.
It was excellent in the first half, but what was said by the coaches at half-time, Bill?
Hull coach Sean McRae very happy, as you'd imagine, with that first 40 minutes, and a request from him is simple: more of the same from his guys. They're doing a great job, and he just wants them to maintain the enthusiasm. That's the real key to this Hull effort. They've shown it in the first 40 minutes. Can they sustain it for the next 40? If they can, they believe they can go all the way against this Bulls side, who are not panicking. Brian Noble, that was his message to his team at half-time. OK, they haven't covered themselves with glory in the first half, but they're still in there. They've made good field positions. They just haven't capitalised on it. So he doesn't want them to panic. He wants to continue working in that direction, but to turn that field position into points.
Parker chasing the kick. Oh, and he gave it to Prescott, who skips out of the tackles. Prescott, what a run! He's got support here, but that was a great chase back by Naylor.
Had to be as well. Good work from the full-back.
And the full-back at the dummy half, and a charge in there by Paul King.
Trying to pick out the man. Get the penalty, play on, advantage, says Ganson, get on with it.
Wide it goes to Coe Love, and he had to stoop to pick that up. That was a lovely twinkle toes run from Stevie Prescott, and Hull turning defence into attack in the space of 4 tackles. It's with Tony Smith now running the angles. Short ball.
And this is where the short kicking game comes into play by this whole side. Tony Smith, Richard Horne. You've got to try to apply that pressure.
Going down the short side is Smith. Chips over the top, gathered in by Withers.
Pretty well, good position, but that's the idea.
Little shake of the head from Tony Smith then when the kick came to naught.
Well, maybe he's thinking that he'd been better served just to keep that ball on the ground. It can bobble all over the joint. But you can't take away the fact that Michael Withers, his position has been superb tonight. It's had to be. They put him under a lot of pressure and they give him a lot of work.
Here's Gilmore. Lee Gilmore, the substitute.
On your feet.
A try against Hull in the home win in March. That was Deacon. Just took a step, had a look, but instead of going for the 40-20, hammered it right down centre field. Prescott. Oh, Rayner nearly fumbled it then. Oh, he gets away from Anderson.
Quick play the ball is needed from Rayner. A little bit too slow then. You can see that Braford have got their one line of defence already set up.
Hull have won the last 3 at home, but they've lost their last 3 away. Crucial as they aim to claim the 4th spot and a home playoff against Leeds. And Wigan now at 26-10 up. And so if it stays like this, let's just reiterate again, Hull will be at home in the playoffs. They will entertain Leeds on this ground next Friday. Confirmation of that before we go off air tonight. Mackay with a towering bomb. That's got snow on it. And he has fumbled it as McAvoy. Here's Jackson. Glorious opportunity to a 2-on-1 overlap.
Oh, he did well to take that. Rayner looks at Jackson and says, come on. We can do better than that.
Well, that was a glorious opportunity for Hull. And Braford now have got the line set. Oh, Anderson is missing tackles like they're going out of fashion.
But what a high kick there from Graham Mackay. We saw the 40-20 in the first stanza. Well, he's got a feeling for it. Give me the ball. I'll put it high.
2 tackles gone. Jackson. Here's Tony Smith. Prescott's the runner again. Peacock got to him.
Oh, Jackson's nearly got caught out there.
Well, he just flicked it back with his feet. Paul King dabs the ball to the in goal and it runs dead. Well, that was shambolic from Hull, I'm afraid.
Well, all the experience, Lee Jackson left for the kick here with a man that's not really in control of the boot. But Jackson, well, he was just charging out and shouting out, this is what we're going to do next.
I'm not so sure, I don't keep count, I'm not very good with numbers as you know, but that was a kick from Paul King. It wasn't the last, was it?
No.
Sure it wasn't.
Forwards do have a tendency to just lose a plot from time to time. As do, well, this is the incident.
Oh.
Whoops! Just got it away in the end. Ooh, he wasn't standing square and he's got him for it. The mark, and that's quick thinking there by Jimmy Lowes.
And this is kickable. This is kickable.
Lowes knew exactly what he was doing there. The big second row was not standing square at that play the ball. And it's quick thinking like that that can just turn the game around. He knows it too. So does that fella.
And the message from Brian Noble. Let's take the 2 and see what's to come. Deacon's the man to have a kick.
Well done. Leave it to me. You get it.
Well, he's pretty confident. Been in fine form with the boot of late.
He is. Sean McRae won't be very happy with the penalty award, but Steve Ganson had nowhere to go with it.
Oh, he had to give it. I think the most disappointing thing perhaps for Sean McRae at this point in time is that it's allowed Braford just to settle and relax. They had them on the roll for a while there, Hull.
Well, they had the 2-on-1 overlap on the right-hand side and nothing came of it.
Yep.
And this is the opportunity here for Deacon to get Bradford to within a try. Oh, but he's sliced it wide, and what's more, he's not got the ball dead. Here comes Prescott. That could be costly.
That's a big error, that. Not the fact that perhaps he missed the opportunity of getting 2 points on the scoreboard, but the mere fact that he's gifted this whole side the possession. Well, it's getting a bit messy around the play of the ball. Players obviously feeling it now. The pace was very fast in that first half, but I get the feeling that Steve Ganson will start blowing the whistle a bit now.
This is Richard Horne, and he's gone for the gap. He's only 20 years of age, this young man. He's approaching 100 appearances for Hull. Great experience. It's like money in the bank for Hull for the future, that. That's the last tackle, though.
Interesting to see whether they give it the big high boot again. Looks like it.
There it is from Tony Smith this time. Vicona's after this. Claims it.
Awkward to take as well. He had to run back for that. Kept his eyes on the football at all times.
He knows this place, though, Tavita Vicona. He joined at the Bulls from Hull in 1998. 79 tries in 95 appearances. I think in those days maybe the hairstyle was a little different, but
so was mine.
He was effective for all of that. You had a hairstyle, did you, in 1998?
Black and white. Go on, say it.
No. Peacock. Peacock takes the tackle. Lowe's. Gartner.
Quick hands there, but I'm not so sure it was intended.
This is Fielden. Last tackle, Costin. Back it goes to Deacon. Deacon, an angled kick. And this is one for Paul Parker to pick up. And they've got him airborne.
Well, Brian Noble's brought back the big fella Stuart Fielden, and he could be the man that could really change his game. Kept him pretty quiet in that first half.
Good tackling by Gartner and Fielden. It's still 12-6 though here. Greenhill drives it in again for Hull.
Bradford can't get sucked into a forward game as they did in that first half. They've got to try to keep this ball alive. A little bit more adventure and idea from Jimmy Lowe's. We've seen that already. A little bit more support play and look to get the ball away.
Oh, Logan offloading in an impossible position, and Gilmore has got it back for Bradford. This is an opportunity for the champions.
Boy, didn't he do well there. Gilmore tipped it forward, got it before it hit the ground. Not a knock on.
Brian McDermott. They're in the danger zone. Lowe's attacking the line. 3 tackles gone, 3 to go. Deacon at dummy half. McDermott. Brian McDermott. So close. Post wobbling behind the defenders as McDermott gets to his feet. A plunge from Jimmy Lowe's. No, back to Deacon. A stab for Robbie Paul, who will draw the try. Was he onside?
He'll give it.
He will. Got the sign from the touch judge. He was onside. And Bradford are clawing their way back into the match. Robbie Paul, the skipper, didn't look well early in the first half, but now celebrating a vital try.
Well, the train continues, doesn't it? The error has put them into a position and they've come up with a try yet again. And it's a good TRY as well. Neat combination between the two halfbacks. Good refereeing decision by Steve Ganton. He was in a good position. We've been talking about the dink forward on the ground. No doubt about it. Swept through. That's the best way possible of breaking down any defence. There's no answer for it. Great combination.
And he was a mile onside, Robbie Paul. It was a good piece of work by the touch judges and the referee. No need to hand it on to the video referee.
Well, if they're confident, why?
Give it, exactly.
Yep.
So Deacon now, he missed earlier. Can he make amends? And this will level the scores. The Threepenny Standers are doing their best.
Ooh.
And he's missed another. How vital could those kicks be? 12-10.
Could get out of jail hole there. But they won't if they continue to make the mistake. But let's not take anything away with the
Hang on, news from Wigan. 26-14.
Still not over there.
An hour gone at the JJB Stadium. At the moment, Hull clinging on to 4th spot. Points difference, by the way, won't come into it. Leeds have got a vastly superior points difference. Hull have got to get at least a draw out of this, but they're hanging on just now.
Not only that, they've got to get possession. They've got to apply that pressure that we talk about. And he knows that once Braford starts spinning this ball about, get the confidence there, Robbie Paul especially.
I mentioned the draw, Steve-O, because we should never, ever discount a draw, even in rugby league, and not in this fixture. We've had 2 out of the last 4 at home for Hull against Bradford that have ended in draws. We would have had 3, but for the drop goal, and that could be a 40-20 by Deacon.
Big decision by the touch judge. He said yes, or did he say no?
40-20. He's given it.
Well, it's right in front of the referee stand, and no doubt about it where he kicked it from. Does it go over the apex?
Well, I think it's exactly the same as the one in the first half from Graham Mackay, to be fair.
Well, I won't be fair. I think you got it wrong. I don't think that it made it. And I'll tell you why I don't think it was made it, because when you saw the shadow was this side. Tony Smith wasn't too happy. He's making it, let it know that it's his decision. Now look at the shadow. I'm right. I think that he's got it wrong. It's very difficult.
We're not talking about shadows, we're talking about the ball that goes over the line. It's going to be contentious. Costin, tackled by Coe Love. Bradford with the wind at their sails. Jackson flew out of the line.
Big gamble as well.
Here is Withers.
Did well to pick that up on the half volley.
Jackson again with a tackle.
He's wound up. They all are, Greenhill included.
Well, they feel they've been badly done to. Gartner. It's spicy. Lowe's again.
Gartner went looking there for Lee Jackson, the hooker.
This is the last tackle.
Surely the kick.
It's with Deacon. They want it to the in goal. It's a bit of a tester for Rayner. Oh, Vicona's got it. It was Parker who was underneath that. And they only have to check now whether Vicona was onside. The former Hull man might just have blown the early bird's chances of making 4th spot ahead of the playoffs.
Again, coming from the kick from Deacon. Pinpoint accuracy there. He was under a lot of pressure now, went for it, but the big fella had too much strength. They'll just check whether it's a TRY if he's onside. Pretty difficult from that angle. And he talks about we're not looking at the shadows, but I can assure you...
We are now.
Yep.
Oh, he's a mile offside.
Yeah. He was very slow to get out of the blocks, wasn't he?
Well, this is a contentious try that will be awarded, I'm sure.
Well, especially with a 40-20 decision. No doubt about him getting the ball down. That's okay. And he was very slow on the trap, wasn't he? But number 2 has turned it into 4. Just wants to check for sure. No doubt in my mind. No interference.
No, he contested the ball.
Yep. Gets it down. Wants to look from this angle.
Jerry Kershaw is tonight's video referee, by the way. Wants to be absolutely sure. And that confirms it.
It's a bit TRY. He wants to see whether perhaps he's lost it, but I don't think it is. His experience is Mr. Kershaw.
Try is given, and Bradford, well, he looked surprised by Vicona, didn't he?
Well, he was a favourite here.
The Bradford Bulls have just hit the front for the first time via a former Hull player.
Well, the fans don't like it here. They think that they got it wrong with the 40-20. I have to agree with them, but I'm not the officials. But let's not take anything away from the skills of this guy. His kicking game wasn't all that brilliant in the first half, and he's come up with 2 kicks, 2 tries. First for Robbie Paul, and then Vicona.
Great kick this time from Paul Deacon. Missed 2 earlier. That was a cracker. 16-12, Bradford are ahead. It's suddenly gone a little bit quiet here at the Boulevard. We might be looking at the last ever league game on this ground. If they both lose, let me just reiterate, Leeds will finish 4th because they have a superior points difference. Well, 12-0 up, Hull, 16-12 down now. And Sean McRae has to find the formula again. Lost it. Stolen. Another contentious call.
to it, did Horn. But whether he was going for the ball, I think that was trying to be offloaded.
I think that is a contentious call again.
Who would want to be an official? No, he doesn't deliberately go for the ball, I don't think. They're claiming it. Doesn't look too impressed. Well, the officials have gone against Hull in the past couple of minutes, and yet again it could be the bitter blow. Just as we keep mentioning, once Braford get the tails up, we know what they're capable of.
Good hands here. Oh, Deacon just steps away from two. Deacon still. It took the heavyweights to get him down.
Beginning to find the ball, and the gap's out wide.
Lowe's to Peacock.
I suggested, Eddie, that Braford would be patient in the second half, but that's good defence. He's on his way.
Good defence from Hull there.
Ironic cheer from the Trembley stand to the touch judge on this side. Oh, you got it right, no doubt about it. Great defence. Yep. Well, it needs something spectacular, and it was Mackay's 40-20 that certainly set the scene for Hull. They want something like that. That's good defence. Good work from Withers.
Prescott eventually will get to his feet after Gilmore leaves him alone. We are talking a lot tonight about the importance of home advantage in the first weekend of the playoffs to Hull and Leeds. And if you look back, here's a penalty for Hull now. If you look back on the three results of matches in the Super League between Hull and Leeds so far this year, Hull won here in March easy, 38-6. Leeds won at Headingley 38-16 in May and rounded it off 52-10 in August. So home advantage could be the key in the first week of the playoffs to either Hull or Leeds. Coelho, Rayner!
What an offload!
Couldn't get the pass inside. Brilliant from Coelho.
Withers
is penalised.
Never moved away from the spot. Once you've made the initial tackle, you've got to get out of the area. He failed to do that. Taking a quick tap.
They've got to. Smith, Chester, Mackay. Good tackling by Peacock. Well, it was all over the place then. Prescott, clawed down by Peacock again. Jackson to Tony Smith. Goes for the gap. Tony Smith!
He's short, he's lost it.
He has.
He took the gamble, but they'll take the knock on, bring them out 10 metres. Disappointment etched on the face of this fella, Sean McRae. He took the gamble. He got away from him, dive. He just slipped at the wrong moment. Oh, they just got it. Look at that. Vangenaar just ripped the collar away from Tony Smith, and it was sufficient. No doubt about it, it's a knock-on. That's the reason why we're putting the scrum down. And I'm not so sure Tony Smith is too clever. Fitness-wise, I mean.
Bradford ahead here then. And let's take a look at what's happening at Wigan. Oh, Leeds are fighting back 26-20. Well, he's not interested. He's not looking at the screen. He's more concerned about Tony Smith's state of health. But it is getting close at the JJB Stadium, and it is mighty close here. Phil, tipster of the year 2002. What do you think?
A little bit worried for Bradford at the moment. Bradford have played a great game of patience, haven't they, in this game throughout, and it's paid off for them. I think the Anton Deck of rugby league, Robbie Paul and Paul Deacon have really combined well just to steer them out of danger. They're on a roll and Hull desperate to hang on, but there's no question they're working so hard in defence. I'll hang over to you.
Thanks very much, Phil, because this is costing, and that was wonderful play from Lee Gilmore in centre field.
He's coming into his own. You can see there, looks like Rayner's down. They're down to 12 men.
This is Vangenaar.
Starting to offload with ease now, the Bulls.
Lowe's will attack the line again. Flicks the pass to Robbie Paul. They've got the overlap out wide. And McAvoy slides in.
No doubt about that one.
McAvoy gets the try. They've been patient. And he is so frustrated. But Nathan McAvoy slid in there but you can take that back to the great run from Gilmore in midfield that gave them the position to attack down that left-hand side. McAvoy scored it, but great credit to Gilmore.
He's had a fine game, but you can see now they're running with a lot of freedom from dummy half, going high. That shows the side is becoming extremely tired. Good offload. Not better than this. Keeping the ball alive, and from that position, good work from Lowe's on the blind side. You can see there Gareth Rayner. He should have been there opposite McAvoy. He wasn't. That's quick thinking again by Jimmy Lowe's. Read it perfectly. There you see Rayner receiving treatment. And when you get one-man overlap, that's what happens. 4 points.
His last try at the Boulevard was for Salford in a 20-15 win in 1996. He has just scored the 4-pointer that could condemn Hull to a trip to Headingley next week. Deacon, another tough one from off the sideline. He's missed, but the gap is now 8 points. Hull have to score twice.
Well, the substitution of Lee Gilmore certainly has paid back his coach, Brian Noble. There's a try scorer. McAvoy did everything right. But it was all brought about by the quick thinking of the hooker, Jamie Lowe's. And when they got the ball out wide there, that was going to be a one-man overlap. I mentioned the fact that the winger, Gareth Rayner for Hull, he was in the background having treatment. They were down to 12. There's no better side in the league that'll make you pay that price than this Braford Bull outfit.
Well, Hull now have it all to do in the last quarter of an hour. And here is McAvoy, Rayner fully fit again, able to make the tackle. Here is Gartner. Paul Cook's on for Tony Smith, who went so close for Sean McRae to scoring the try. Here is Fielden.
Isn't it amazing how 1 inch can just make the difference? He was so close, was Tony Smith, and that's a bitter blow for the whole side. Sean McRae will be really worried. He's worked hard tonight. But you talk about the composure, Eddie, of this Braford outfit, and I'm sure that Brian Noble was happy in that first 15 minutes. Just contain them. They know they've got the skill out wide. And I think this whole
it's a
side...
towering bomb again. He's dropped another as Parker.
Oh, he had to go back.
Oh, Mackay's making porridge of it. In the end, they tidy it up.
Well, he gets up with a smile on his face. He's Graham Mackay.
Oh, what a hit from Banganar.
Come and get me.
Here's Greenhill. Bradford swarming round now. It'll make it very interesting at the Valley now at the Valley. Go back 12 months. At Griffin Park, Brentford now on Sunday. London will play St Helens. The Saints have got to win to claim league leadership. Bradford are back in possession.
Bad mistake by Richard Horne, and they are looking very tired. And it wouldn't surprise me if the balls cross in this movement.
James Lowe's
controlling the game now, Eddie.
Yes, they are. They seem... Well, they certainly have weathered the storm. This is Robbie Paul. And he's an inch short in your book.
Let him up. Let him out. Hands out.
Deacon.
I'll be back to 6.
Put the scrum down for the knock-on.
Pretty composed, isn't he, Brian Noble? Doesn't show a great deal of emotion.
Well, his face was the same when Bradford were trailing by 12 points to 0.
Well, did he get a hand to that, or did it just hit the head? Pretty difficult.
Well, a few injuries mounting up for Hull, Bill, aren't there?
Tony Smith on the sidelines. When he tried to score that try, he took a bang on the head.
This is McAvoy again. The ball's come free. And Hull will counter. Away they go, Hull. It's a terrific run down the touchline. Still going.
Good work from Gilmore. What a game he has had since he came off the bench. Went all the way back. It looked as though it was going to be an easy try.
The run was from Poucher. This now is Chester.
Well, Poucher got into the clear, and the way that Lee Gilmore just forced him out wide.
Here's King.
Was superb.
Hull believe they're not done yet. Jackson. This is Cork, and Cook is so close. A dive by Greenhill. He's over, I think.
He'll go to the screen.
Oh, yes. He will go to the screen because all it's a question of is, did he get the ball down, Craig Greenhill?
Well, it's virtually in the same spot that Tony Smith went short. He's not convinced, Greenhill. He kept his body low. It was difficult to stop. No, he's short. He's about two or three inches on this occasion. He gets close and then they just drag him back. There you can see quite clearly. Tried everything possible, but once he had the initial push and then they started to pull him back. This will be NOTRY.
Well, Craig Greenhill's only scored one try this year against Halifax in June, and that was his first for 6 years. Has he got a second? I don't think so.
I'm with you. Jerry Kershaw making sure that he's got the right decision, and rightly so, because these are tense moments.
It's a question now how we restart the match. If it is no try, and it is, it's the third tackle, so they're playing on. It's still a glorious opportunity for them, and there is a try, this time from Fletcher. Richard Fletcher gives Hull a chance.
What a time to come up with a set pattern move.
Bradford were breathing a sigh of relief that the video referee had come to their rescue, and Fletcher said, give us the ball, and he barged his way over next to the posts.
Well, they're running different angles, crisscross, just like the bun. Boom. And it paid off. Great to see this. Back there, slam, get into it. They worked overtime, Fletcher knew it. Oh, that is great work. Wonderful stuff. They're still in it. It's not over yet. This is important, though.
It isn't over yet. Mackay faultless so far tonight. And that is 3 from 3. And the gap is reduced to 2. 18-20. And Hull's top 4 ambition is still alive, but only just. It looked like they were out of it. It looked like Bradford were home and hosed. Richard Fletcher had other thoughts. Scoreline coming in from the JJB Stadium. Leeds are ahead. Leeds are ahead against Wigan. It might matter.
And he just saw the face of Sean McRae. He looked at the big screen. He knows exactly.
And there was a huge groan from the supporters here.
Still plenty of time for both of them. What a fight back by the Rhinos. What a season this has been.
Well, it's too tough to predict. And it has been from the very first weekend. Here come Hull. They know that destiny's in their own hands. Never mind what happens at Wigan. And it's not beyond the realms of possibility that Wigan come back and pinch that. It's not beyond the bound of possibility that Hull come back and win this.
Well, they've got to ignore what's happening elsewhere. They've got to make sure that psychologically it's a big lift for them. They know that in the playoffs it's simple as that.
It's a question of where.
Yep. Whether they come back here or at Headingley. But either way, to have a win against the champions Bradford, good lift.
That's a great kick. Was he offside then, or did that come off Jackson?
Ooh,
Robert Parker has picked it up.
Moot point.
Did that come off Jackson, or did it come off Withers?
Well, they were both in there. They were both utilising the arm.
I think he's got it right. Jackson flicked it.
The pressure night for Steve Ganson. Come up with a few errors, but across the board.
Bill, we haven't forgotten about you. Give us that injury news, will you?
It's just that Tony Smith, I reckon, has been wrapped in cotton wool now, because he took a bang on the head when he went over for that attempt at a try, and he's sitting on the sidelines. And worrying news for the Bulls as well, because Paul Anderson has picked up an injury, and I think it could be a groin strain. Now that could be a real worry for the Bulls, not just the Bulls but Great Britain as well.
Indeed so. Paul Anderson missed a couple of tackles. It was not like him earlier on, but maybe that's the reason why. Is that there he is, Paul Anderson, and that was Steve Prescott just knocking the ball dead, foot over the dead ball line, ball still rolling, flicked it dead, tap on the 20. Not Mr. Stevenson's favourite rule, by the way.
Oh, you're blaming me for another thing, are you?
No, not your favourite rule.
Do I have nice ones, or...?
Second, now clear.
I think it should be changed, yeah.
Come on.
It denies the attacking skills.
Yes, it rewards negativity, which this game rarely does. Oh, forward. Forward by a mile off Horn to Marr. Bradford have got it back, doesn't matter.
Well, they'll just close it down.
This is Gilmore again.
And try to get it across there. He's had a big game, hasn't he? Definitely forward, just held on to it a little bit too much. Nothing that Adam Marr could do about that. But I think they'll just use the sheer weight and strength of this Bradford pack to put them into a good position. Maybe Deacon going for the 1 point.
Fielden standing tall, but in the end having to take the tackle.
Come on, mate.
Lowe's. Robbie Paul.
Third, you'll cost him, mate.
Surely they'll drive it to the sticks yet again.
It's with Lowe's. It's Robbie Paul. They're bang in front of the posts. 2 points the gap. Will they go for a 1? No. Jimmy Lowe's looking for 4. Great dab into the in-goal area. Could be a try here.
Yeah, it
Could
is.
be a try for Gartner here.
It's just whether he was onside.
He's onside. Onside and grounding, Jerry.
Well, the kicking game tonight has been absolutely superb from this Bradford outfit. It has produced some wonderful efforts.
Oh, he's a mile on.
Oh, yeah. No doubt about it. Been a different player as well, hasn't he? Jimmy Lowe's in this second half. Oh, now then, I don't think he had full control of that. I don't think he's got full control of that. This could be no try. Well, we've had Tony Smith, close, no try. Greenall, no try. Gardner, no try.
That one is a try. And that is probably the key for Bradford, and it is the cue for the programme producer at Headingley to get the presses rolling for Leeds against Hull, playoff week 1 next week.
He's had a fine game as a hooker, Jimmy Lowe's, in the second half. I made the point in that first stanza that he didn't do much running and controlling from the dummy half position. He's certainly done that, and he's produced the try that surely this one, Paul Deacon will add an extra 2.
He's not been brilliant with the boot tonight. That's 3 from 6, only 50%. But 18-26, and that now should be enough for Bradford. Here we go for the full-time score from Wigan. Full-time, Leeds have won at Wigan, 32 points to 26. So it's Leeds against Hull at Headingley next Friday night, first of the playoff games. That is now confirmed, no matter what happens here.
Fine effort as well by the Rhinos. A lot of pressure. Wigan, perhaps, they may look towards the injury crisis, but when it comes down to this level, you've got to take the chances, and it looks as though Wigan were bossing it over there. They've come back.
They had a huge advantage, Wigan, and here's a problem for Hull. That's Richard Horne, I think.
It is.
Shoulder problem for Horne. Well, he's getting back into position. But it's the second time, by the way, that Leeds have beaten Wigan at home this year.
Well, that would be a bitter blow, wouldn't it? We've already heard from Bill Arthur on the sideline that Tony Smith has been kept on the sidelines just for precaution, and he didn't look too gingerly, did he? Richard Horne there, it looked as though he was carrying that shoulder. Trouble is with Richard Horne, we know his qualities in attack, but he gets through such a lot of work in defence, taking on the big guys all the time.
Well, I wonder if, Phil, you've got your gazetteer, but you know the way to Headingley, don't you, for next Friday?
I certainly do, and I suppose Sean McRae's job really will be to tell the whole side, look, where we play is irrelevant really, it's our performance that counts, and their performance tonight has been very impressive. I know they would have looked to improve the defence. They've conceded 3 tries in this second half, but put that down to the kicking skills of the Bradford side really, which you can't legislate against. They've done very well, they've played against this Bradford side who've dominated in possession in the second half, and they just really have to rebuild. And I think this game, although they've lost, will certainly have helped their confidence after the drubbing at St Helens.
Well, that's exactly what Sean McRae wanted. The result, obviously, important in terms of 4th or 5th, but what Sean McRae wanted coming into this match was a vast improvement in form after, well, what can only have been described as a shambles from them at Knowsley Road last week, and I think he's got that reward. I think he's got the form to take into the playoffs. Although he doesn't look terribly impressed with that, being caught in possession on the last.
Well, I think they'll all grab something out of this game, Eddie, but I think the key factor, you've got to look at this, the professionalism of Bradford in this second half. We heard Bill mention it about Brian Noble. Look, don't panic, be composed, look after it. They haven't given away silly penalties, and I think that's what he will look towards and say, well, we know we can do it. The game goes on for 80 minutes, not for 40, not for 50 or 60. You've got to play right the way to the end, and they've certainly done that tonight.
Lowe's down the short side, a chip over the top for McAvoy. McAvoy will ghost in under the posts. Second try for Nathan McAvoy. He'll give this, I'm sure. Yes, the try is given for McAvoy. And I think they know in that particular coaching box the game is up.
Sure is. That's a 4th try that's come about from kicks in the second half. 2 from this fella. He provided for McAvoy, and earlier after the restart it was Deacon's 2 little kicks that provided the tries. Good thinking. He's had a wow of a game, Jimmy Lowe's. And once you allow a man of the experience of Mr. Lowe's to take control from dummy half, we've seen him so often utilise the blind side. He did it yet again. He's got all the skills. And rather sadly, I don't think Hull's effort resembles the scoreline.
No, it doesn't. They played really well. Deacon adds the extras, though. It's the scoreboard where it counts, and it's 32 points to 18 now to the Bradford Bulls. Brian Noble's men hit the front. They take over at the top from St Helens, who have to go to London on Sunday now to claim it back. And it's Leeds against Hull. Let's just repeat once again. Leeds against Hull is live with us next Friday night. And we will be going to Wigan on the Saturday to play either Castleford, London or Widnes. That will be decided on Sunday. Balls come free. In the last minute now, a bit dispirited Hull.
Richard Horne again being involved in the tackle. It looks as though perhaps he's worked it out, the problem with his shoulder.
Just a line on Paul Deacon. He's gone through 300 points now in Super League 7.
Okay.
There's another contender for the Man of Steel.
And also for man of match, I would presume, is had a wow of a game. Okay, goal kicking department just a bit wayward, but those 2 tries he created early in this second half really just, well, it broke the back of this Hull's effort.
Let's hope that Paul Deacon goes through the 400-point mark in the Test series against the Kiwis. Lowe's has gone for a 1-pointer, just wide. Well, he's had that sort of night, James Lowe's. And there is the final siren. Leon Price out with a hand injury. He's alongside Brian Noble. But Bradford, they have claimed their 23rd win in 28 weekly rounds. Sean McRae left the scene early. The inquest has already begun in the Hull dressing room. But James Lowe's had a big hand and a big say in that second half performance from Bradford. They're at the top of the table. Will they stay there? That's in the hands of Saints on Sunday when they travel to London. The one thing we do know from tonight is that Leeds will entertain Hull at Headingley next Friday, because Hull have lost here by 32 points to 18 against the Bradford Bulls. Richard Horne with one of the 2 tries in the first half that gave them a 12-0 lead. But after that 20th minute, it really has been Bradford one-way traffic. Plenty more to come this Rugby League weekend. The playoffs in Australia underway. Saturday morning live, 10:30 Sky Sports 2, the Dragons against the Sharks. Sunday, 6 a.m, the Roosters and the Knights, both of those on Sky Sports 2. And we will have the final afternoon for you. We have reporters and cameras at all the grounds, but the main event is Salford City Reds, who must win to avoid the drop, Castleford Tigers, who must win to claim 6th. It's on Sky Sports 2 on Sunday at 3. When we return to the Boulevard, we will pick up details of man of the match. We've just seen the last league game here on this famous ground. The Kiwis now will bring down the curtain in the autumn.
They say that time is a great healer.
We all want to win so badly.
No point in being on a losing team.
Got to go out there and win.
Finally, the time has come. The 34th Ryder Cup, live next Friday, only on Sky Sports 1.
15 years ago, the Manic Street Preachers were busking outside this building in Cardiff. They've come a long way since then. They've made it inside. For your chance to see the Manics back at St David's Hall, Cardiff, get one of the specially marked packs of Carling.
Darling, your coffee's ready.
Like millions of men, he has a benefit from treatment. Erection problems are common. Get more information. I would.
Take home the excitement of Mike's new car. An all-new short film exclusively on Disney and Pixar's Monsters, Inc.
Showing the soles of your feet is one of the rudest things you can do in Thailand. And this hand gesture, in parts of Greece, would also be frowned upon. At HSBC, we never underestimate the importance of local knowledge, particularly when it comes to your money, because what we learn in one country can directly benefit our customers in another. HSBC, the world's local bank.
If you're bringing up children, you're contributing to the UK. That's why tax credits are changing, so that 9 out of 10 families are now entitled to them. Like the Grahams, whose income took a dive when Vicky stayed at home to look after the kids. Like single mum Patricia Taylor, who's a student nurse. Like Paul and Tina Jackson, who need childcare while they're both at work. And also Mark and Lucy Joyce, and their 4 children. And the money's now paid directly to Lucy and not Mark, so it's there when she needs it, say a new pair of trunks. So if you've earned it, make sure you claim it, because it's money with your name on it.
I didn't know that the new Sunny D flavours come with no added sugar, until a little bird told me.
Yes, Sunny D.
There's a place where magic lives. To get there, visit disneyholidays.co.uk.
Is your car a bus? Is it big and red? Are you providing an essential public service? No, didn't think so.
Get more information. By Roots.
Well, a victory for the Bradford Bulls, which means that Hull will finish 5th in the table, 32 points to 18. We're going to hear from the Bradford Bulls coach in a moment, Brian Noble, but first of all, the man of the match. It's one James Lowes. He's with Bill.
Jimmy, congratulations. There you go, man of the match. Drop goal would have put the icing on the cake, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I had a go. Mick Withers gave us a shout there, have a shot, but it's about 3 mile off mark. But I'd just like to clear one thing up. I never sent that email on Super League World other night. So
as a performance, that was really professional, wasn't it? You were in a bit of a hole, you dug your way out.
Yeah, it's a tough place to come and get a result. First half, they really give it to us, and we just never controlled the ball really in that first half. We had a few words at half time, and then we showed a few things up, and we played a lot better field position wise.
Well done, man of the match.
Thank you very much. Thanks, Tiso.
Thanks, Jimmy. Let's bring Brian Noble, Bulls coach, in. Satisfied with that?
Very satisfied. You know, we talked about just coming here getting a job done and getting the win so we can put some pressure on Ian and his team at the weekend, and we've done that. But the second half they were tough, and this place is such a tough place to come and get a result. I was delighted for the boys. I thought they were great. I think my watch tells me that I'm out of oxygen, my diver's watch.
You can have words with him then.
I think he might be giving it away later on, but who knows, who to.
Thanks, Brian.
Well, just let's wrap up the entire night for you. A victory here for the Bradford Bulls. Leeds Rhinos have beaten Wigan 32 points to 26. And all that means Bradford are top of the table. St Helens at the moment are second. They have got the game in hand. Wigan are confirmed in third. Leeds are fourth. Hull are fifth. And it's either Castleford, London or Widnes who will claim sixth. We'll talk to Ian Millwood about the prospects for London Saints in a moment, but first of all, Sean McRae, he's with Bill.
Sean, as a response to last week's performance, that must have really satisfied you. Just didn't get the points.
It was a pretty good effort. First half in particular was everything we'd planned to do, I think. Probably the scoreline reflected that. I think the scoreline in the second half, 26-6 against us, probably showed the dominance that Bradford were allowed to get. I'm reasonably happy with the effort, the commitment. Could improve on some execution of some plays, and a couple of turnovers cost us badly, but it was certainly a much improved performance. I think it gives us some momentum going into the playoff game next week.
Thanks, Sean.
Okay, cheers.
Some momentum. He has got some momentum, no doubt about that, particularly after the first half, but it's settled as far as Hull and Leeds are concerned now. We know that it will be Leeds-Hull next Friday night. Up at the top of the table, St Helens have got to go and win at London on Sunday. That's simple. You just go, you've got to win, otherwise you go into the playoff second. Happy with that?
Yeah, I said all along, whatever happened here tonight, we had to go down to London and win, and London have got a big game on to try and force their way into the six. But even if Bradford had lost tonight, we still would have had to win. And we got a good loss against London early in the year. That was by 40 points. So, and traditionally, I don't know why, I wish it wasn't the case, but they're just close games, St Helens and London. So we're in for a big one tomorrow. We're prepared for a big one tomorrow, and we're looking forward to it because there should be a great atmosphere down there, and there's a lot at stake for both teams.
Loads at stake for both teams, London and Saints. A lot of things at stake, Steve-O, still throughout the competition. Another game gone, only a couple of things decided.
Yeah, and I'm sure that Brian Noble would be very, very happy with that second half performance. I intimated during that second half also that 4 of those tries came from the kicks, and that's the one way of just getting through that solid defence. I think Hull just run out of steam and they run out of ideas in that second half, but the team that I wrote off 4 or 5 weeks ago, the Braford Bulls, they're proving me wrong, and they are really in fine form. But composure to me was their key tonight.
Composure indeed. Mind you, he did say at the start of the programme that James Lowes could have a big influence on this match. He's won the watch as man of the match. Downstairs to Phil. Have Hull got enough, Phil, to go to Headingley and win?
I'm not too sure. I feel a little bit like the weather girl because she very rarely gets it right either. I thought Hull would bounce back with a win here tonight, but Bradford were very impressive. But such is the unpredictability of the Tetley Super League this year. Who knows this weekend?
Thanks, Phil. Let's just remind you that the Rugby League continues this weekend. Saturday morning at 10:30, St George Cronulla is live on Sky Sports 2. And Sunday morning at 6, the Roosters and the Knights is live, also on Sky Sports 2. Sunday afternoon, we're back in the Super League. The shakedown, reports, cameras, reporters at every game. But the main event is the Salford City Reds against the Castleford Tigers. It's live on Sky Sports 2. And our guests, by the way, will be Sean McRae and Brian Noble. There's still more action for you tonight, though. Coming up next over on Sky Sports 1 live golf, first round of the Solheim Cup. And next here on Sky Sports 2, WWE Wrestling, it's Late Night Raw. It's been Raw here tonight for the Hull FC side. Thanks to Ian Milver for being with us.